Welcome to another segment of the psychological backstories of the Bible, where we take some of these stories in the Bible and we examine them through the lens of this ancient rabbinic source called the Midrash, and we're hoping to uncover a certain overlay of emotions that are not found in the text itself, but are driving the story. And here it's going to be an unusual application of the principle behind this podcast, because as we said, this ancient rabbinic source, the Midrash, is always interested in the emotions going on in the story. And so the title of this is, Does God Need Us? And this is going to explore whether there's some emotional need that God has for his creatures. Does he need us? Or is that a theologically difficult idea that just has no basis in reality? I'm hoping that if you like this series, you will like and subscribe and comment. This ancient rabbinic source, the Midrash, is going to give two parables on both sides of the equation. It's interesting that in Judaism, there is a precept that anytime you come out of the bathroom, you have to say a blessing in which you sort of take all of medicine and collapse it into a simple idea that things in the body that are supposed to be open should stay open, and things that are closed should stay closed, because otherwise we wouldn't last an hour. And so we need God. Midrash says the two opinions. He starts with Rabbi Yochanan, who says that our relationship with God is like a shepherd standing and looking at his sheep. And the other opinion, Reish Lakish, says it is like a head of state surrounded by dignitaries. And the Midrash doesn't always go on to explain the two sides. Often it's left for the reader to figure out, but in this case it does. And the first opinion about the shepherd and the sheep, it says that we need God to bestow honor upon us. And the second opinion of the head of state surrounded by dignitaries is that God needs our honor to be bestowed upon him. Okay, so this evokes a big response among the commentators. Basically, it comes down to the fact that no one actually wants to use the word need when it comes to God. God should not need anything. So what exactly did the Midrash mean when it said need? So one of the commentators says, well, if you look at the sheep, so we are like sheep, in fact, that we are owned by the shepherd, and we're the property, just like God in some way owns us and controls us. And, he takes care of his flock out of the goodness of his heart. Yes, maybe he's trying to make a living from that, the shepherd. He wants to graze and sell the milk or the wool. But it's still, he's taking care of the sheep and bestowing goodness upon them, and that's what God is doing to us. And on the other side of the equation, we have this idea of dignitaries who are somehow bestowing honor upon the head of state. And you could look at this whole world with the ecosystems and the solar system, and everything is giving honor to God, but that doesn't mean that God needs honor, right? What God needs, so to speak, is, or more precisely what God wants, is that people seek higher consciousness. That's what God really wants. He wants people to find higher consciousness, and in that way they will come to appreciate God and the beautiful world that he created. This idea is also discussed in a great medieval Jewish commentator by the name of Nachmanides, or Ramban in Hebrew. And interesting enough, he's commenting on a very interesting precept in the Bible, which is that if you want to take eggs for yourself, you see a nest and you want to take the eggs, you must shoo away the mother bird first. And the question is, for whose sake are you shooing away the mother bird? Is this something that God needs us to do? It's sort of a reflection of the same question. Or is it somehow for us? God doesn't need us to do that. Perhaps God gets satisfaction when we're doing the right thing, but God doesn't need anything. And this ancient commentary the Nachmanides says that, yes, the fact that we are shooing away the mother bird is in some way purifying ourselves and our personality, because after all, the mother bird has feelings too, and taking the eggs right in front of it could cause it pain, and we should develop this sensitivity so that we are sensitive to all people and animals and everything. And so everything that shows how everything is really for the sake of purifying human beings. That's why all the precepts are for. And that, of course, spills over into this argument we are presenting today. And does God need us? No, but God wants us very much to be perfected beings, as we said, seeking a higher consciousness. So I will post below a much longer commentary in print, a link to a Google Doc where you can find out more about this. I hope you enjoyed. Again, please like and subscribe and comment. And again, this has been the question of, does God need us? As part of our ongoing series, The Psychological Backstory to the Bible. Thank you.